Paul Henry.
All right, here is the yarn. Urban delivery is cutting back to 3 days a week. We're sending half the amount of mail than we were 10 years ago. And post boxes are disappearing from cities and towns around New Zealand. Listen. There's one disappearing now. A protest against the removal of one post box is being held in New Plymouth tomorrow. That's how big this news is. Yet New Zealand Post has an impressive and we assume very expensive new ad campaign featuring an actor from Game of Thrones. Does it add up? How is the future looking for New Zealand Post? CEO Brian Roche joins me now. Brian, good morning to you.
Good morning, Paul.
Thanks for coming in. Let's just talk about the concerns the union has at the moment. And can you understand that it looks iffy for staff that know they're going to lose their jobs, for customers who see services dropping, that simultaneously you are broadcasting a very expensive ad, which is slightly hard to understand.
Yeah, look, I can understand the contradiction. All the issues that have been raised by the union and others are ones that we considered. But we took a decision. There's been a lot of bad news about New Zealand Post in the last 4 or 5 years, but we've got a huge future, and what we have to do is get a brand in the market that demonstrates to people what that future is. What you've seen on the ad is phase one. There's more to come. We want to be able to show people we don't just do letters anymore. If we did, we've got real problems.
Would you? If letters was all you did, you'd already be out of business, wouldn't you?
Well, we would be out of business, so we've got to be realistic. And, we've had these discussions with the union. We need good advocates for the staff, all of that stuff. But my job is to think about the future and the staff who want to be here. So we just got to get on with it. We think the ad actually is designed exactly to achieve what it's done.
What is it designed to? Oh, people are talking about it. I talk about it. I love it. I turn it up when I see it come on the telly.
Yeah.
I love the ad. I vaguely know what you're trying to say, but only vaguely. But as a piece of theatre, it's great.
It is, and it is only vague at this point. This is part one.
What's it supposed to be saying? What am I supposed to think?
It's actually going to demonstrate to us what we can do. People still think all we do is letters. We don't. We do a whole lot of other stuff.
Do people still think that?
They do still think that. You see the comments in the paper, you see on the blog sites. Letters are really important, but that's not our future.
Okay. How much did this ad cost? Can you tell me?
I can't tell you that, but look, he was a very good price.
And ballpark, how much?
I can't say that. But look, everything he's done for us so far.
He did it on the cheap because he loves letters.
He did it on the cheap probably because he likes New Zealand. And he was captured by the story, and we think the public will be. Is it going to guarantee our success? No. But actually, this is about trying to generate volume. More volume.
It's about trying to stay in business.
And to get more volume. The more volume we have, the more jobs we can create. It's really straightforward.
Well, and that is really straightforward. Why can the union not understand that?
That's a question you should put to them.
Are they living in the past?
I think some people are actually still struggling with the fact that we operate in a fully deregulated business. We've got competition on everything we do. And if we're going to compete, we've got to succeed.
Let's remember, New Zealand Post used to have a monopoly.
It did. And, monopolies don't give good outcomes for consumers. As management, we're completely committed to competition. We have to compete to survive. We've got to get in front of the public. We've got to tell a good story. Okay. This is part of a good story.
At grassroots, because some of the things the public see are bad story things, like when they see a post box disappear from the corner of the road that they drop a letter in every single 10 years, and that post box disappears, 1,300 have disappeared since 2008. That's a bad news story for them. How hard is it for you? Because you know that it's not viable to have as many post boxes. But how hard is it for you to know that with every post box that goes, it's actually a disincentive to post a letter?
It is, and that's part of the dilemma, but we've got to be realistic. We can't operate a whole network for the odd letter. We need volume, and our volumes are half of what they were 10 years ago. And you ask people, I'll ask you, when was the last time you sent a letter?
No, we're asking people this morning on paulhenry.co.nz.
Yeah.
I can't remember when I last sent a letter.
So the real issue here isn't, we've got to get a bridge between the emotional attachment to the past and the reality today. And we have to do that in a really respectful and human way.
What is the chance, Brian, that in fact you are heading up a group of people standing on the beach, watching the tide go out, shouting at it to come in? Maybe actually this is a business that is doomed.
No, it's not. I just don't accept that for one moment. We are brutally realistic. We've got a really good parcels business. We do a whole lot of other things. So the issue for us is how do we...
Is that the only growing business you have, the parcel business?
It really is our future. It's at the core of our future. If you go back 20 years, at the core of our future was letters. It's not anymore. And we just got to get people to face that. I really respect the emotional bit. We have to be brutally realistic. There's a lot of jobs here. And, it's our job to protect them and preserve them as best we can.
So what is the message? What is the message that you, let's forget the unions, because they should be working for their workers, and you're claiming that you're actually working for the workers because you're trying to save the business and grow the business. What is your message for one of your employees who knows that over the next year or so they're going to lose their job?
Well, actually, we've already had these discussions with them. What we've said is we're going to deal with the reality. You're going to be treated, really, really well. And I'm really happy to stand on our record. All of the people who have been displaced have been, well supported. We've gone beyond what everyone else. But we have to deal with the reality. And look, our engagement surveys, all of those things that you measure about, do people believe you? They're all really high.
In terms of the size of New Zealand Post, will we ever see it grow? Because, as you say, the parcel business is getting bigger. I mean, what was the first thing Hillary did this morning when she came in? She was on the internet ordering parcels. You're going to have to deliver that toaster in the shape of Darth Vader's head to her house,
replacing ET.
I'm buying in bulk for these guys too.
Yeah, look, it's never going to be as big as it was, but it's still a credible business. We've still got 10,000 people. That's on New Zealand standards. That's big.
Brian, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
And congratulations on the ad. I can't wait to see the, presumably it's a series, and your Game of Thrones act is going to be in every one.
Yeah.
All right, great. Thank you, Brian Roche, New Zealand Post Chief Executive.